everybody, and happy Friday night. We are in the first episode, the first Friday night of the month of March 2021. Guys, happy Friday night. Hello and welcome to The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the bearded villains' worldwide brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over the world. Tonight we have episode 73. Flying along. Episode 73, my year of birth. Do the math back, you can figure out how old I am. Episode 73, and we're going to have some fun tonight because, well, we're going to be talking to a brother from all the way over, well, unless you live over there, it's not really all the way over there. But if you're here in the States, we're going to be talking to a brother from all the way over in Denmark. He's going to be our interview guest for tonight. He's a former captain, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. We're talking to him about life, about BV, and about one of my great passions, a great passion of mine, and I got some advice from him and all sorts of good stuff about all that is and a love for whiskey. So we're going to be talking to Danny from Denmark in just a little bit about that. But I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. Episode 73, I really appreciate everybody that does stop in, even if it's not for the whole show, but those people who take time out on a Friday night live, if you're able to hang out with us for a little bit, comment in the comments section, say hi to all the brothers and sisters out there that are also tuning in. That's always a good conversation in there. Everybody that's in there just chiming in. I also want to give a shout out. I haven't done this for a while. I used to do it every episode, but it just occurred to me that I really haven't said thank you lately to our brothers who created One Brotherhood, One Ship. That song has just reverberated throughout BV circles ever since they created that thing. Anybody that was able to see that performance live at the World Meet in LA, that was incredible. Everybody's downloaded the song, watches the video, makes their own video with that song. And so I'm very grateful, very thankful that these guys allowed me to utilize that song to open up and to close every podcast. So thank you again to you guys for doing that. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here, guys. It is also Red Friday, a lot of times Red Friday, but I'm participating in Red Friday tonight. And you'll notice if you're watching live or watching on the replay, I'm wearing the official BP logo t-shirt. I'll give you some more information about that coming up in just a few minutes as well. If you like bearded men, if you like beards, if you like men doing cool things in the world to make the world a better place, you have come to the right place. As I said, this is The Heart of a Villain. I am BP from Bearded Villains, Northern Indiana, and the host of The Heart of a Villain. And did I say I'm happy to be here and excited to be here tonight? Yeah, I think I did, at least once or twice. As I said, we're on episode 73. You can catch all the previous episodes. That would make 72 of them, if you do the math backwards, at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. There you can find all the good stuff. You can find the merch, the poker chips, the patches, and all the stuff out there. But more importantly, all of the podcasts where you can learn about all the cool things that our brothers are doing all around the world. So check that out if you have to go back and if you have to backtrack and catch up on some episodes. Make sure you go to your podcast subscriber. It's available all over the place on all major platforms. You can listen back to all major podcast platforms and get all the good stuff there. So that's theheartofavillain.simplecast.com or any of your major podcast platforms. So cool stuff. I want to say thank you and hello to the people tuning in tonight live with us. As I always like to take a second out and acknowledge everybody who's chiming in and being with us live. I'm not surprised to tell you that Rob from over in the UK was our first listener, follower, viewer of the night, always tuning in even before I go live to say hi to everybody. I love seeing that little smiley face on there. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. It is good night / morning for you over there in the UK. But thanks, Rob, for being here. I appreciate you. Mark is in the house. Dan is here. Dan. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Mark's here. As I said, great to see Mark here. Always good to see Mark. Wayne's in the house as well. Mr. Joker smiles. Joker smiles. I always say Joker smiles. It's more fun that way. Anyway, Joker is in the house. Been a little bit for him to be here live, so it's great. I'm grateful to see Mr. Joker in the house as well. Of course, we have Jay and Sharissa doing their thing right now. Everybody hold out hope and give positive thoughts, because I believe Jay is actually driving right now, as Sharissa said in the comment section. So hold out hope for the best. Hillbilly's here, as we've come to know. He's always here. So everybody else that's here that's not commenting, that I can't tell if you're here, thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you'll get something really cool out of tonight's episode, because I think I had a really fun conversation coming up here with Danny from Denmark, so that was a really good time. And I'm going to do a unboxing of something in just a couple minutes here, something that another brother of ours, old Dan from Bearded Villains Lakeshore, sent me. So I'll be doing that unboxing in just a few minutes as well. So thanks again, everybody, and let's get this thing started. What do you say? First thing I want to do is give a shout out to a few things real quick, as I always like to do nowadays anyway. I started doing where if we have some chapters that are trying to raise some money, do some things with some merch, I like to at least give a quick shout out to that as well, so everybody can see what's going on. The Bearded Villains of Indiana, my former chapter, Bearded Villains Indiana, have put together a really cool shirt to raise money for the MS walk that they're doing this year. And this shirt, it goes off of pre-sale this weekend. So if you want this really cool shirt, kind of cool layout with the orange ribbon behind it, with the Bearded Villains Indiana logo and villain spelled out with their X Factor. Very cool stuff on the back. Prices between $23, $25. You can go to bvin.bigcartel.com. Pre-sale, again, ends the 7th, and there will not be any extras ordered. So if you want one of these bad boys, get it now. Well, not right now. Wait till you're done watching the podcast. But something like that, yeah. Absolutely. All right. Also, I've teased this a little bit, and I've got some samples to show you of the BP, the official tongue-in-cheek BP shirts here. Well, I'll have these on the website before too long, just for people to give us an idea if they want one or not. If you don't want one, fine. It's fine by me. I'm wearing them. They're super soft, and it's better for me to do that than wear some other bearded man company logo shirt that means nothing and may not be as comfortable. So I'm going to switch over to this camera angle real quick just to show you, those of you who want to see. We'll switch up. So I've got 3 different basic logo layouts for this guy here, and I'll hold it up so that the camera here can see. It's got the first one. It has the big bearded silhouette of old BP front and center in a big old fashioned print right there in the front, and the back of this has one of the phrases I end the podcast with: "Be the villain that the world needs you to be," on the back. Now, any of these can be done on different colors as well. The second one is the silhouette BP up on the chest in a smaller logo. And on the back of this one is the big old BP signature. This is the cool signature that Longman from over at Beardedville in Central England helped me create, so it looks kind of all fancy-ish. And then finally, in this little blue, has the old BP signature up on the chest, and the heart of a villain, be the heart of a villain, or be the villain that the world needs you to be, on the back side of that as well. So I've shown you guys those. If you are interested, hit me up on those, and we'll take it from there. And yeah, we'll do that. Also, before we get too far into this, I want to say thank you to everybody who did kindly reach out to me and say that they really got something out of last week's episode when we talked about making it count. So thank you. I do appreciate the kind words for those of you who did reach out and say they got something out of it, made them think. That's what it was intended for. It made me think, for sure. Absolutely. Also, I'm curious. You don't have to tell me if you're live in the comments. That's great. You can tell me there. But I'm curious. Did anybody go out and grab that book that I told you about? Or did you watch that movie, Big Fish, for the first time? I'm curious if anybody took my advice on that one. So let me know in some way, shape, or form if you did one of those two things, and if it really made your day, if it affected you in any way, shape, or form. I'm curious to see if it touched you in any way, especially that movie, made you think. So I'm really excited about this episode today, but first, I do need to pay homage and acknowledge something sad that happened in our circles, in the BV circle this past week. Actually, this past weekend. Now, I did mention that the SoCal chapters last week were getting together to raise money for Johnny. They were selling a patch to raise money for Johnny, who was sick in the hospital, had been for some time. Johnny from Bearded Villains Inland Empire. They're raising money for him, the really cool red patch. And we were all saddened and just heartbroken to hear this past weekend that Johnny unfortunately did pass away. And so I want to just pay homage for a second to John Magdaleno from the Bearded Villain Inland Empire chapter. Now, the brothers in Inland Empire have gotten together and they are starting to raise money for his family to help out with expenses, because there are a lot of expenses. And so if you are able, they have set up a PayPal for this, and you can assist in any way, shape, or form. If you can help them out, I know they would greatly appreciate it. With the Gmail that will link you to the PayPal of ievillains2020@gmail.com. Again, that's ievillains2020@gmail.com. And you can help out our Bearded Villains Inland Empire chapter, raising some money for his family for all of the expenses and costs associated. Always sad to see when we lose a brother. And I know that everybody was praying for him, that there'd be a quick turnaround. And unfortunately, we didn't get the outcome there that we really wanted to. So prayers out to Johnny's family, friends, brothers, Johnny himself. Godspeed, and we'll keep a lookout. I know that the Bearded Villains out there in California are really, really, really focused and cognizant about being there for the family. So keep our thoughts and prayers out to those guys for sure. All right, guys. So this is going to be a new segment. Woo! This is going to be a new segment of the podcast, and it won't happen every time. It won't happen every week because it's going to be dependent upon when something comes in. And so today, I am introducing a new segment where I've done this once before, but I didn't have a little picture thing and a little lead-in song and all that fun stuff. I did it this time, just for some fun stuff. So this time around, we're going to be talking about a beard care product. Beard care products, actually kind of all over care products that were shipped to me for trying out from our Bearded Villain brother with BV Lakeshore, Dan. So he sent me something, and I wanted to share it. I'm going to do a little unboxing. Now, I have opened it up, but I haven't really given much. I haven't used it or anything like that. I wanted to share that experience with you guys so I can give you thoughts. I always like to do that, be open and honest about stuff. If I like it, if it's for me, and just give you some examples of what it is to me. So let's enjoy this, and we're going to take it from here. Let's go. Okay, fancy there. So I'm talking about Topher's Beard and Soap Company. Topher's Beard and Soap Company. You can reach them on Instagram at Topher's Beard and Soap. You can also check them out on the website www.tophers.ca. Now, this company is out of Canada. I did research them a little bit to find out all the stuff that they have to offer, and boy, do they have stuff to offer. I'll tell you that. So the box that came for me from Dan, I was shocked. Now, those of you who know me well will know that first appearances, first impressions mean a lot, especially when you're talking about beard care companies, when you're talking about, well, anything that you're going to invest your money in. And even though sometimes the packaging isn't necessary, even though sometimes the packaging may be something that you throw out, it's impressive when a company goes to a certain length to make sure that their products are cared for, that their products come to you, and when you first get them in your hand, there's something about them that's impressive. And so this really impressed me a lot to see with Topher's. So this package came in a box, and it's a nice wood grain box here with their logo from their company on it. Very, very cool. It's a stained wood box. We're not talking plastic. We're not talking, cardboard or anything like that. Not to say that any company that does that, is more or less impressive, but I was very impressed by this hard box that came with Topher's. So as I go through this, I slide open the box. It's a slide top. Nice panel there. Protective foam coming out front. And then I'm presented with 3 items that are in here. I have a soap, I have a beard oil, and a beard balm. Now, I'm going to start with the soap because very, very cool stuff. I just love the packaging. I love it. So the soap is a natural, handcrafted soap. It's not like the weird store-bought stuff that you see. And this is called Whiskey Wood Smoke. And I mean to tell you what, I've never really used any natural handmade soaps before. And I know people get on me all the time and say, you got to try it. I can't wait to try this because I'm a big, big believer in the scent. This is... So as I'm smelling this, it says Whiskey Wood Smoke. And I mean to tell you, they did the smoky scent really well. Now, I've only had a couple of companies ever make anything that are woodsy, like a smoky wood, that really does it well, that doesn't smell fake. And I'm telling you, this smells amazing. As I'm smelling it, it's a very, very complex smell. But there's a very definite, like a cedar wood. If you know that cedar wood smell, that's very obvious. But I feel like I'm hanging out around a bunch of cigars. So cedar wood, really, really a sweet but very complex smell. So I can't wait to try that puppy out. Very cool. Whiskey Wood Smoke is that. Going on to the oil, I'm going to put this down so I can open this guy up. This is the Topher's Beard Company Refined Gentleman is the scent. And no frills labeling here, which is awesome. I like it. It's very clean. But this is the Refined Gentleman. And as I open this thing up here, it's your typical squeeze bottle that you see. But wow. Now, I did smell this yesterday and I just got a hint of something that I didn't get the first time. Man, the first thing there's a real heavy, really pleasantly heavy leather scent. There's a leather, there's like a tobacco-y leather. I like that. There's a peppery note to it too. Wow. So far, Topher's is hitting a home run with these scents. They have a very layered way of doing their scents. I like it. Very good. This box smells amazing. When I first opened it up, it was incredible. So then we're moving on to the beard balm. And your beard balm here, this is called Havana Humidor, so you can pretty much imagine what this smells like. Really excited about this one. Now this one is your typical beard balm. It's not overly goopy or anything as I touch it. It's very tacky, which is what you'd expect for a beard balm, hopefully. Doesn't feel like it's going to goo out of your hands, if that's a phrase to use. But, Now, last night, I just took a quick whiff of this because I didn't want to spend too much time with it when I first got it. And my first instinct was not what my wife's first instinct was. She immediately smelled like a vanilla. And I could kind of smell that a little bit, but I'm getting a lot of, this just has a very cigar heavy, it does. It smells like a humidor. It smells like you just walked into your cigar shop. Try and close this a little bit. Yeah, this is great. It's like it just walked into a cigar shop. I don't know how they did that, but that's incredible. So I'm looking forward to this. Now, what I'm going to do is to give a good review, good focused review about this. What I'm going to do is, and I'm going to do this going forward with anybody that sends me stuff, I'll do a quick review here like this on the podcast, and then I will use the product for any number of days, three days to a week, so that I can give a follow-up, splice that together, put that out on the YouTube platform, and give an honest review, my first impressions like I just did, and then after using the products for a number of days. So stay tuned for that, and I look forward to, man, can't get out of this soap. This is awesome. So I look forward to being able to share some impressions with you on this. Topher's, again, thanks so much, Dan, for shipping this out to me. Topher's is, wow, very complex. I love it. Topher's Beard and Soap Company. Topher's Beard and Soap on Instagram. Topher's Beard and Soap, or www.tophers.ca. Very, very cool stuff. Thanks so much, Dan, for passing that along to me. All right. So, what are we going to do next? This week's interview, guys, is with, oh man, I had so much fun talking to Danny. This is a guy I love. You know how I love talking to people from all over the world. And Danny's somebody that I had seen for a while. I knew he was a captain, now former captain of Denmark, but I followed him for a little bit, his adventures with he has a YouTube channel out. We have a very common interest in whiskeys, and he does whiskey reviews and different things like that. So I always love to listen to other people that do that. And I think he does it very well. But he's been around BV for a long time. So I wanted to find out, what were his first impressions? How did he fall into BV? What his journey was like? Everything's a little different in other parts of the world. And then we get a little bit into life with his YouTube channel. And it's not just whiskey and other things. There's some rum reviews in there. He does some Call of Duty stuff in there. It's kind of a hodgepodge of all sorts of awesomeness. So I hope you enjoy this interview with Danny from Bearded Villains, Denmark. My guest today comes all the way from Denmark. He is an OG type brother. He has been around Bearded Villains for quite some time, living his life in Denmark. We're going to find out all about what's going on in Denmark right now with the pandemic, and what his life is like in the Bearded Villains, and just all sorts of good stuff. So my guest today is Danny from Denmark. Danny, how you doing, buddy?
Thank you. I'm very good. Thank you for having me. And how you doing?
I'm doing really well. It's a sunshiny day here in northern Indiana in the U.S. The temperatures are starting to rise a little bit, or maybe they're just teasing us. I don't know. But
Okay.
it's getting a little better, and some of the areas in the States are starting to open back up a little bit. So it's nice to see.
Yeah. Sounds like the same here in Denmark. This morning was very cloudy and windy, and the afternoon, suddenly the sun came out and all the clouds were gone, but it was still kind of windy and chilly. Oh yeah, but it was beautiful day. So
Very nice. Yeah, we're about 7 hours. I think we figured about 7 hours apart. So you're ending up your day when I'm middle of mine. Um,
yeah.
can you talk for just a few minutes? I know, like I said, when I was introducing you, you've been around Bearded Villains now for since 2015, so the beginning, and it's always interesting to hear somebody's take on how you found the Bearded Villains living over there since it was started over here. How did you find the Bearded Villains, and how did your journey start up?
It was pretty much coincidence. I was just scrolling the internet and just started growing the beard. It was coincidence, and I just found it, and I read some stuff about it that kind of intrigued me, and just a little bit, and I couldn't find much about it back then. There was pretty much only the web shop and a little bit of information. So I just checked around, and then I just started writing it on Instagram, tagging bearded villains, and then one day. Um, the guy who founded Beer Villains Denmark started the chapter um, with me. He was the first Beer Villains in Denmark villain in Denmark, and he stumbled upon me and just contacted me, and we were two, and then it kind of went from there. So it was pretty much coincidence.
It's funny because that back in the day in 2015, it was always, it does sound, the more I talk to the guys that have been around for that long, it was very disorganized at the time. It was just,
Yeah,
hey, I see this, I'm going to start using this hashtag, and and then we're
exactly.
just going to go from there. But
Yeah.
what were those first steps like? Because Bearded Villains really wasn't anything over there when you first started. So what was that like to start out this movement, this beard club that really nobody knew or nobody knew existed?
Yeah. It was a little bit weird, but also a little bit not scary, but but also a little bit scary meeting all these new guys and taking these steps to kind of start a chapter. And it was also a little bit difficult to actually believe that it could be what it has become. So, but me and Anas, the first captain in Denmark, we kind of just agreed on if we're going to do this, we're going to do it 100%. And then we just started going, and we had a lot of help from the Swedish guys who are a lot bigger than us and was a little bit ahead of us, a couple of months or 4 months ahead of us, I think. I'm not sure how far ahead they were, but they helped us out a lot. Their former captain, John um, Oak is his name on Instagram, and he helped us out a lot. We also talked a lot to the Belgium guys, Jochen and Mario. I don't know if you know those guys, but they also helped us out a lot. So, and I think they were also some months ahead of us. So that helped us out a lot. And yeah, so it's just kind of like paving the sidewalk as we walked on it. And we had a lot of setbacks in the beginning. At first, we were six guys, then quite fast, we were down to two again. And then we had to kind of start over. And but once we started over and kind of got rolling again, it went pretty fast at first, and we 12, 15 guys was fast. Then we were kind of a group of friends, and then yeah, then we just took it from there.
I think that's all. I like the paving the sidewalk as we. I like that. It makes so much
Yeah,
sense, though. It's very well.
yeah.
I like that. So when you guys started out, though, was the focus for you guys over there? Was the focus really on just hanging out and the brotherhood of bearded guys, or how quickly did you see the light that said, we could actually do something with this and do some charity stuff? Or did you feel that pull from another chapter, or did you just kind of decide that on your own?
That came very fast. We liked each other's company, and we wanted to connect and this brotherhood thoughts and all that. But we wanted more right from the beginning, Anas and me. And the Swedish guys helped us out a lot in that regard. And we kind of just took a couple of days or some days where we met up and just brainstormed all day long, writing down just thoughts and all these things, and then we kind of prioritized all these things. What is actually possible, what is not possible, and then yeah, we wanted more from the beginning. So
What would you say in the years that you've been involved, and going back even to when you were leading the chapter as the captain, what what was the most, can you think of like the most memorable or a couple of the most memorable charity types of events that you were a part of?
well, the first time we did. we have a charity run in a forest where all the money goes to the Children's Heart Foundation here in Denmark. And the first time we did that, that was that was absolutely amazing. That was just a magical day where all the brothers came together and made this run happen. And to there was a lot of people who helped us and participated, but we could see or kind of feel that they wasn't sure about us. Big guys with beards, who are they? But they say they want to do all this, and then to see the change from the first year to the next year, where everybody was just well supporting us and was knowing that we could do this. That was really a good thing. Gothenburg with the Swedes, a big meet up in Gothenburg were just a lot of fun, and where all the uh, the money gathered went to charity. That was also a an awesome event, just because we're so many of us there, and we were there with the Swedes, which we had a lot, as I said, collaboration with. So those two things is probably what I want to mention. But aside of charity, the first time we met as brothers in Denmark, the first meetup is pretty special to me. Um, and I also have one particular day in Belgium where I was down there watching the Formula One race with my dad, and I actually just walking down the street in a bearded villain shirt, the one that says "Stay humble" on the back, with just a little mask in the front. Um, a small guy, bald guy from the chapter down there jumped out of a store, yelled at me, "Are you villain?" And never met the guy, never seen him on Instagram or anything, and he didn't know me and I said yes, and we just hugged it out, had a beer, exchanged gifts, and just those kinds of experiences also pretty amazing.
That is so cool. I've those kind of stories I love because we always talk about how this brotherhood is all over the world, and no matter
Yeah,
where you go in the world, pretty much you can find a bearded villain, and that's
yeah,
those are the stories I love. Those are great. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. In 2019, I was in Singapore with my family, and I met up with I don't know if you know Fias Grinder. The He used to be part of the Asian chapter, and we also met up down there, had a beers and laughs all day, all night. It was amazing. Just these small things mean a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't. You don't need to have a big event. You can just hang out and
Yeah,
just talk and
yeah.
learn from each other. What's it been like though for you as your chapter and I mean just in general with this last year, the way that the pandemic has hit? Have you guys just struggled to even get together? I don't even know like how locked down Denmark is.
It's pretty locked down. In December, it was very locked down. Now we can, some stores are open and they have like a limit of 5 people that can meet up, and they talk about having a social bubble, like have the closest family and friends and don't see anybody else but that. A lot of people work from home. Everybody then that can't go to work. They stay home and work from there. Um, but it seems like it's gonna open up a little bit more, maybe in a month or something. So yeah,
So
but the last year has been, we actually, it was luck that the first lockdown that we actually managed to meet up and have our, I don't know what that's called in English, but we turned Bearded Villains Denmark into, I don't know, a union in the same way that a workers' union or a, so it's like an official thing with papers and all that stuff. And
oh wow.
every year we have to have a kind of a general meet where we decide on rules and stuff in the union. And we actually managed to have that just after the summer vacation, and then it kind of shut down again. So we've been trying to do some stuff, but yeah, some have been successful, some hasn't. So
Yeah.
yeah,
it's really interesting the more I talk to guys over this last year, because you'll have one country that is completely locked down, almost like a police state, where they say you'll get
Yeah,
arrested if you even try to meet anybody. And then like right next door, a different country, they'll be like, yeah, it's okay if you have masks on. And
yeah,
it's everybody's
yeah,
take on that. So, but you guys,
yeah.
I know here in the States, we've been locked down, but not locked down like a lot of the other countries were. So you guys haven't really even been able to hang out at all, except for that one time you said at the end of the summer.
Yeah, then it's smaller groups and yeah, not the big events. 4 or 5 people meet up. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's all. But it isn't. We don't have to wear masks on the streets. It's only in stores and in public transportation. Other than that, we don't have to wear masks. So
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense now. I mean, it's as
yeah,
things start to open back up again. Is there are there any chapters in your area that are starting to kind of plan some events, at least just tentatively, so you know we might have this thing coming up?
not that we heard of. We are planning our run, which is in September, and starting the initial planning with the Heart Foundation here in Denmark. So we are slowly starting to kind of believe and hope that it's possible this year to do these things. Yeah,
Wow. Good
but I
deal.
haven't heard of anything in here. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed for that because we need to.
yeah,
I was really excited about being able to see Gothenbeard and last year and see. I wasn't going to go, but I
yeah,
was looking forward to it because they were going to make that the biggest ever, I think. And
yeah.
I, I was really
I
excited
was
to
I
be able
was
to see
helping
that.
planning that, so all that stuff, and Norway, Denmark, and Sweden were kind of stepping closer together and trying to make that happen. But yeah, COVID
Yeah.
ruined everything.
Do you know if there's any plans so far for this year for 2021 then, or is it just going to have to scratch it
No,
again?
yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe 2022.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to something super fun here. I
Okay.
found I found that you are also, when I was looking at your Instagram, you have a YouTube channel and you like to
Yes.
share some fun stuff on that. But it's not a lot of people's YouTube channel is either just a bunch of family stuff or one specific thing. But you have a bunch of different things on yours as I was looking
Yeah.
through. But one of them is really fun for me. I'm a big fan of the whiskeys and different things like that. So I think it's awesome that you started doing that. What's that trip been like for you to actually hit record and give your opinions on different whiskeys and stuff out there?
Wow, it's been the trip is the exactly right word for that because it started out really shaky and the first 20, 30 videos that I did, I think it's like that for everyone. You feel kind of silly doing these videos and stuff like that, and then you actually start getting some positive response from people, and also start to get a little bit more confident and better at what you do. So it's been a lot of fun, and yeah, could go better, but I've had some fun, and also some invitations to different kinds of whiskey launches and stuff like that. So it has been quite a lot of fun.
Oh, there's a bonus right there. Yeah,
Yeah,
come try our
exactly.
stuff. That's awesome. So
Yeah, yeah.
what's your do you have like a top couple that you reviewed so far that are some of your absolute favorites?
Yes, of course I have. Irish whiskey is I haven't had a lot of Irish whiskey, but I think last year or maybe it was 2019, I kind of stumbled upon a distillery called Teeling, and they make excellent whiskey and not too expensive. Plus, they do some pretty funny or pretty interesting experimentation with the casks. So they have red wine cask finish, they have rum cask finish, they have beer, stouts, cask finish, all kinds of stuff like that. And the Merlot cask finish is especially great from that. Then I really love the Lafroig, all that smoke from the Isla. That's amazing. And recently, there was actually a Dutch brother who recommended a Dutch distillery called what was it called? Millstone, I think. Stone Mill it was called. So I tried that out, and they actually make excellent whiskey as well, and also whiskey from India,
Oh,
something called Amrut. Not very well known, but that's really good whiskey as well. So
yeah. I see. I've thought about because I've been told by 2 or 3 people, yeah, you love bourbons and whiskeys, and you should do a bourbon review or a whiskey review channel and that. But for me, it's like as I sit there and I try it, and I'm just sitting without a recorder around me at the house, and I pour it and I sip on it. The only words that come to mind are, "Yeah, I like it."
yeah,
I don't
okay.
I don't have the I can't really come up with my own interpretation of what it is I'm tasting. I just know that it's good and how to break it down because I've noticed you've done pretty well with that. So are you actually reading some of other people's interpretations a little bit and seeing if that's something you also taste? Or how does that work like the first few times that you try and break that down? I'm just curious because I can't seem to do it right.
In that, I never read what other people think about whiskey and how they interpret it before I taste it for a review because I want to make up my own mind and not be influenced by others in that way. But in the beginning it was really, really hard. I started drinking whiskey with my dad when I was like 20, so that's 22, 23 years ago.
Uh,
Um, so I've done it for some years now, and that of course having an older guy, my dad, teaching me and helping me out in the beginning, uh, did something good. And in the beginning when I did those reviews, it was really difficult to kind of separate all those flavors and aromas. But yeah, practice is I bought you can buy a lot of small glasses with different kinds of scents so you can smell it,
oh,
and that way you learn what you're smelling when you smell the whiskey, so it's easier to put into words.
I didn't even know that existed. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
look that up.
and
I'll have to find it.
that's a huge help. That's a huge help.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't even know that existed. That's great. So I'm definitely gonna
Yeah.
seek that out. But now, how do you just do you just hear of something and you think, I'm gonna try that? Or do you have people recommend specific things to you, or do you just look on a store shelf and think, I haven't tried that yet?
Well, a little bit of all those things you mentioned. Sometimes people write me and say, you should try this. If you like that one, you should definitely try this. And then there's some companies contact me and say, "Hey, please look at our whiskey and kind of do a review, or also rum. They also do it with rum and beers. So that and other I just decide on a kind of a series. Then I'm going to do 10 Lafroigs, for example. Then I'm going to do 10 Lagavulins just to get the Isla broken down. And then, yeah, just kind of do these series where I do the same distillery for 8 or 10 times. And
Okay.
then, yeah,
Very
so it's a little bit
interesting.
of, yeah,
Very interesting. I have a feeling though that my wife would not be too happy with the budget that would be required to do
yeah,
this because
yeah.
if I'm trying to put out
It can be very expensive.
more than one bottle a
Yeah,
week, I'm in trouble.
yeah. But in Denmark, I don't know how it is in the States, but in Denmark we have 2 or 3 very, very good websites that sell small samples. So you can buy 3 centiliters for like $5 to $20,
Oh wow.
depending on the whiskey. So you don't have to put out that much money to kind of taste it.
Okay, that's interesting because I don't I know you can buy some smaller samples, but I don't know unless you get like a subscription company or something to do it for you. But that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, I enjoy watching some of your reviews, and it's interesting because you have some things over there that aren't readily accessible over here. The Teeling I have seen though, and I've never tried it. So I now that you've given it such a great review, I'll make sure I hit them up and see what those guys are about. But yeah, I do a lot of I like to try a lot of the ones that I haven't seen or you don't see very often around here. But I find myself worried. I'm worried about spending anything more than like $40 because then it's like, okay, so I'm like the super budget guy. Maybe that's my thing. I just need to be the super budget guy that just, if you can barely afford whiskey, I'll review those.
Yeah, but that's value for money is a huge thing in whiskey because you can always find good whiskey and good bourbon, but trying to find it under $40 is a challenge, right? So that could be a thing.
Yeah, there you go. We just came up with it. All right, awesome. Well, Danny, the last thing I just want to ask you about because I know you gotta hop off, but what are some of the things for a new guy coming in? You've been around for a while. You've seen a lot of things. You've seen some good, some bad, some incredible, and some really bad. When guys ask you about Bearded Villains, what it means to you, what it's meant to you, what kind of advice do you give guys when they come in?
Most important thing I think is to just be yourself, but also be obvious or really show who you are. Kind of be involved and offer your help and your time, and and then I try and explain a little bit about what it is because I expect new guys to want this and to really do a lot of effort to be part of this. So that's probably it. Mostly be yourself.
Be yourself. I like that.
Yeah.
Danny, thanks so much for finding some time for me, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I'm going to share a link for your YouTube channel so everybody can get on and follow the adventures that you share on there. Get some good tips if you're a whiskey reviewer or if you like whiskey or rum or even some beers. The beers may be a little bit more difficult to find over here, but usually the rums and whiskeys you can probably find. So, But hey, have a great rest of your day, man. And I will talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Bye-bye.
All right. That was Danny, man. Real cool dude. I just wish some of these guys lived closer because he's another one of those guys, man. I'd just love to hang out with and just put a pile of bourbons and a pile of whiskeys in front of us and just sit there and have a whole sample day. So thanks again for all that. Now I will share, I said I was going to share this with you. So you have it. This is what his YouTube channel looks like. It doesn't have a specific, there is a specific address for it, but it's not one that's spelled out. So if you research him, Danny, and then he spells the last name of the channel, Dunkeren, Danny, Dunkeren. He tried to pronounce that for me, and it was not how I would have said it. So I don't want to butcher it again, but absolutely very, very cool stuff there. Now let's see if I can come over to, I had something else that I was going to put. Okay. But so yeah, hit up his YouTube channel there for tips and all the good stuff regarding that. So thanks again, Danny. I appreciate it. Check my buttons here. Okay. All right, guys. Wow. Cool episode, guys, we've had so far. So thanks, everybody. We're going to slide right in to this message from one of our partners. If you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo Beard Products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo, beardoils.com, and use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. All right. Thank you very much. And thank you to one of our guests for the day, of course, Danny, but also thank you, Dan, for sharing with me all the goodness that Topher's has to offer. I will be checking this thing out, so I'm excited about this, to get going on that with a nice clean beard and start fresh, soaping it up and moving on with the good products. So thanks again for that. All right. Sliding right in now to our calendar of events, guys. We had a very successful plunge, very successful polar plunge down in southern Indiana. The brothers, Southern Indiana Bearded Villains, had a great one last weekend. Hope you got a chance to check out their videos of all of the kilted brothers jumping in the cold water. So congrats to those guys on having a great time. So now coming up, our next big event is May 21st to 22nd. May 21st, 22nd is DSV5. DSV5 is hosted by South Mississippi, and it's in Ocean Springs. Our Bearded Villains in South Mississippi for DSV5, May 21st, 22nd. Then June 11th and 12th is the West Coast Meet in Denver, Colorado. The West Coast Meet in Denver, Colorado, June 11th and 12th. Then that same weekend, June 12th, is Knox Villains. Knox Villains, hosted by the Smoky Mountain Bearded Villains. That's always a great weekend. They raised a bunch of money last year. I don't want to put them on the spot, but boy, they set a precedent. They're going to have to try and match. So Smoky Mountain Bearded Villains hosting Knox Villains, weekend of June 12th. And moving into September 2nd through the 6th is Villain Cruise 5. Villain Cruise 5. That's hosted by the Bearded Villains of Finland and Sweden, and it starts off in Barcelona, Spain. That's September 2nd through the 6th for the Villain Cruise 5, if you're over in that area. Then September 24th to the 26th is the East Coast Meet, hosted by the Bearded Villains West Virginia. Now that East Coast Meet is in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Again, that's September 24th to the 26th. September 10th to the 12th is the Four Corners Meet. Had a great turnout last year for that. It is hosted by the Four Corners chapters, Phoenix, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. It's in Cortez, Colorado. It is a meet that is only for brothers. No spouses, no significant others, no friends that you want to call significant others, no girlfriends, boyfriends, no nothing. Just brother time, hanging out in the outdoors. Four Corners Meet at September 10th through the 12th, Cortez, Colorado. All right. Well, guys, man, we've had one episode, man. We've had a great episode. Episode 73 was a good time. Thanks again to my guest, Danny, and thanks again to Topher's and Dan for supplying Topher's to try out. I look forward to doing a review on those guys. Guys, that's going to wrap up episode 73 of The Heart of a Villain. Remember, you can still buy those shirts, patches, pins, and all that good stuff at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. You can also get all previous episodes of the podcast there or on any major podcast platform. I want to challenge you guys, as I always do, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. Guys, as I always say, said it and I say it all the time, remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So for now, guys, have a great night. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the week ahead. Take care. Stay safe.
Fresh to death is obvious. We get live with the script, high off loops and kicks, spit rhymes with the b-boy twitch, grabbing my junk and shit like it's 86. Shelly told 3 stripes we on. Hey, you know the B.I. It's cross ponds, no borders. I am my brother's keeper, keep your facial features covered, stay feeling. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay feeling.